I am a local boy. As she introduced me, I started my advertising career here with Stark. I was here for a year. In '96 is when I started. I moved to Lintas, Bangalore, and when I moved to Bangalore, it was Balki who was heading creative in Bangalore then. Pat told you earlier about Balki's days in Mudra. I was fortunate enough to work with both Pat and Balki. So Balki quickly moved up the ranks in Mudra with campaigns on Van Heusen, Wilman, Peter England, and many more. And then he moved over to Lintas, Bangalore. And I have to tell you a little bit about Lintas for you to understand the impact of Balki. Okay, so Lintas started as Lever's International Advertising Service. Okay, it's an agency created for Unilever. So it used to create a certain kind of work, which was great, which was great for those brands. Of course, Lintas over the years became a very iconic brand with people like Alec Padamsee heading it and work like the Lalita ji of surf, which is very iconic, and many more, Hamara Bajaj and all of that. But it was a certain type of work that Lintas used to be doing. It was he and Pat came on and really sort of changed the tone and language of advertising in the country. So when I was given this task of introducing Balki, I thought I should introduce you in such a way that I can at least tell you things that the internet cannot tell. Yeah. So I'll start off with a picture. Okay. This picture actually represents Balki in more ways than one. You can't find this picture on the net. I had to go to the ends of the earth to find it. Okay. So here goes. There it is, yeah. That's Balki after he. A year after he became the head of creative of Lintas. Honestly, there is a lot about that headline. So this, I'll stick my neck out and say that Balki honestly, brought ballsiness back to the industry, to the creative industry itself. In fact, from '98 when he became the CCO to when he left in 2016, the body of work that the industry created, I think Balki has led the way in creating some really inspirational work with certain big brands. I'll just play a short reel which tells you a little bit about his work, and after that we could go into some details, Balki. That was supposed to be the original intro. Practitioners of advertising in Trivandrum, they truly in it for the love of it, because there are no network agencies here, there are no big national brands, but yet to be in it is really amazing. So kudos to all of you. So what I thought was, I'll play a few pieces of work, okay, and you could take us through some of it. Sure. Yeah.
Hey, Diya.
आज से डैडी बुलाओ.
A wedding to remember. Tanishq.
Soft idli. No chutney. अम्मा याद आ गया. अम्मा होता तो मिनिमम 3 टाइप्स चटनी मिलता. परवल.
नारियल, अनियन, पुदीना, धनिया, 25 टाइप्स ऑफ चटनी बनाओ. चटनी पत्नी.
Havells Appliances. Respect women.
आइए सर, आइए सर.
नमस्कार.
अरे सर को नमस्कार करो.
मैं आपका वोट मांगने आया हूँ.
अरे आइए ना सर, बैठिए. रामू काका, सर के लिए भी एक चाय.
अच्छा सर, वैसे मतलब आपका
भंवरलाल भंडारी.
और क्वालिफिकेशन?
क्वालिफिकेशन?
चलिए छोड़िए, अपना वर्क एक्सपीरियंस बताइए.
25 साल से हैं इस लाइन में.
सर वर्क एक्सपीरियंस मतलब कंस्ट्रक्शन, वाटर वर्क्स, इंजीनियरिंग.
अच्छा, हमारा इंटरव्यू ले रहे हो क्या?
सर इतनी बड़ी जॉब के लिए अप्लाई किया आपने?
कौन सा जॉब?
देश को चलाने का जॉब सर. खैर चाय लीजिए.
हर सुबह सिर्फ उठो मत. टाटा टी.
You're coming in between a lot of interesting things that people are supposed to be watching, reading, doing things like that. The least you can be is interesting. You can't be a nuisance and be boring. And you can't pump money behind the nuisance, behind the border, to make the nuisance even a bigger nuisance. So that is some beliefs that I've always had, not in advertising, while I was watching advertising, while I was watching everything else. So when I'm watching a cricket match and breaks for 1 over, I'd like to hear what has happened in the previous over, but there's some ad that's coming in. That ad had better be interesting for me to kind of forgive the medium. I think advertising is about people forgiving the medium. It's almost like, okay, I forgive you. You entertained me for this kind of thing. Or you made me feel this way. Or you told me something new. Or you kind of made my mouth water. Or you did something. It has to be something. It has to be a reaction that is worth the nuisance. So, advertising is not supposed to be a preachy kind of a thing. When we first, today a lot of people do a lot of social advertising. It's like every brand has taken some social cause and is kind of tom-tomming how noble they are as a brand purpose. Brand purpose. Every brand has to have a purpose. Otherwise they feel they are in the underworld business, so they can't kind of, be legitimate if they don't have a purpose. No, a brand's purpose is only to sell. We're not in the underworld. We don't have to have an excuse to sell. But the reason why we did it right in the beginning, and we were the first ones to actually do it through Lifebuoy and Karate and Idea and things like that, was to just make it interesting, was not to make it a purposeful thing. Was to say that every brand is saying, okay, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. This is why I'm good, this is why I'm good, this is why I'm good. While doing that, can I give you 25% extra free? Any biscuit packet you take, if you get 20% extra free, you will go towards it, right? 20% more extra. So can the ad also have that 15-20% extra? Which is a little kind of thing. So when Tanishq was done, this particular ad, and Hari was very much part of it, when Tanishq was launched, it was one of the first commercials that I presented to Xerxes Desai. This is way back, I think in 1997 or something like that. I presented to Xerxes Desai. I said to Mr. Desai, this is about a wedding campaign for Tanishq. He said, yes, we must get into weddings. It's a very big thing. So when I told him about this widow remarriage, she's got a daughter and she's remarried. The daughter is part of it. He looked at me and Xerxes Desai is a very progressive human being. He's one of the most fashion conscious people. He listens only to Bach, Beethoven and Mozart. He kind of is one of the most polished human beings as far as design is concerned. But he said, oops, no, I don't think anybody will accept it. This is very nice. I
I didn't even think it was great acceptance. I just thought it would be an interesting marriage. We see boring marriages in every jewelry ad. Even those days were boring. Imagine today, we're seeing so many marriage ads. It was damn boring for me. So why would I see another? Yeah, I'll shoot it beautifully. We can shoot it with great close-ups. The motion can become even slower and slower and slower. Every jewelry can tangle and everything. But it's damn boring. So can somebody get married with a daughter? That makes the marriage interesting. I have no reason to improve society and, propagate this virtue and that. That's not the purpose of advertising. If that was a particular reason to advertise, then I do it. But a brand's purpose is not that. I used it to make the brand more interesting. The same thing for Tata Tea, also when we did, was, I remember my creative director and I was we were sitting in a coffee shop trying to crack Tata Tea for a pitch. So he was telling me, Amit was telling me all kinds of things, and the brief was coming, this plucked from this garden, everything is from Munnar, everything is from those same estates, same shots, everything is the same packaging, beautifully, vacuum seal, all the shit. I said, how many times will you see this in your life? My first question advertising is, how can you bore people again like this? So I said, what is this so great about this tea? And they told me all kinds of things. I called up the client who we were pitching. So we had a connection, so I could call clients even tell me if there's anything more to your tea, which is not in your brief. And she told me lots of things about Tata does this, that. Nothing convinced me. Then I started looking at that, I was drinking coffee and I said, what is the difference between Tata tea and other teas? There's only one difference. It's Tata. There's no other difference. So if every tea wakes you up in the morning, Tata, which we all have a perception of being a far nobler company, should awaken something inside you. So Tata awakens you, other teas wake you up. So I just used Tata as in Jagore was a campaign was to wake your conscience. It was not meant to wake up society, wake up people to the ills of society. No, it was Tata versus tea. And that's all it was. What happened is, these kind of things then became, like I went to levers, and I'm the culprit behind this stuff, and we did Surf Excel, and we did this stuff, and we did Lifebuoy, about cleaning streets and all this stuff. I think Surf Excel was the Lifebuoy and Surf Excel changed. Unilever suddenly believed that purpose was the biggest thing in advertising, and then came the disease of purpose. I know the number of brands that have spent so much of money pushing shit that has no connection to the brand. Some brand, I think Horlicks was doing somebody failing in some exam and somewhere, some coaching class, some 240 miles, how mothers go with Horlicks to that place. What Melinda was also doing? What Melinda? There's a certain kind of a joke into the entire thing. I think the purpose of every brand is only to sell. And you should sell, of course, to be good first, not to harm people's lives, to entertain. To sell, you've got to be interesting. To be interesting, you've got to be different from what is going on at that point of time. Today, I genuinely believe no brand should have a purpose, because too many brands have a purpose which has no meaning. I just believe brands must find interesting ways to kind of just speak over themselves.
Number 1 is very big. Number 2 is big. भैया देख क्या रे तूने मारा इसको तुझे अब भी देखता हूँ मारता है अभी ये ले सॉरी बोल सॉरी बोल रहे
दाग लगने से अगर कुछ अच्छा होता है तो दाग अच्छे हैं ना। सर्फ एक्सेल दाग अच्छे हैं।
वापस नहीं करना।
आज तो डुबियार रहेंगे यहाँ एक भी पुरमी बचना नहीं चाहिए। पकड़ पुरमी को सरपंच जी पहले पुरमियों ने शुरू किया था। उंगली चक्कर
आइडिया ना कोई थुमियार ना कोई पुरमी, कोई भी अपने नाम से नहीं जाना जाएगा।
99922626. के लड़का हुआ है।
सर जी, व्हाट एन आइडिया सर जी।
It was on 6 years or so after Airtel and Vodafone had entered India. So for a third brand to come in and really have any hope of capturing market share in it's a mobile networks are parity category. So this is a brand that was purely built by advertising, and all the credit goes to Balki and team. So Balki, how do you come up with number instead of name and all these ideas every single time?
There are a lot of crazy guys who come up with these things. I think the team was like, once I think we were all very clear the kind of advertising that we wanted to do. There's some brilliant people who are all been part. I just take credit for everything that everybody's done because I'm supposed to be at the agency. But a lot of this stuff, yes, there would be a starting kind of thought where, how do you pitch this entire thing? That is my contribution, and making sure the execution lands properly. Now, my bigger thing in this, I give you a small example of how really things work, and I've always believed in one thing. There is no medium that is made for advertising except for a billboard. There's absolutely no medium. Mediums are built or made for other things. Advertising is an intruder in the mediums, whether it's the internet, whether it's television, even print. Advertising is an intruder which has become the oxygen for a lot of mediums to continue doing what they kind of doing, but it was never created for advertising. So I always have asked a simple question of, it's not where it's coming, it's, I believe the medium is it IPL, is it cricket match, is it a particular film that you're kind of doing this, is that playing with, or is it in a certain kind of, let's say what they used to call those serials which were happening, what kind of serials. I think sometimes that is the medium, or on, for example, in digital, what is it, where is it coming? I want to know where it's coming. Not the medium is coming, along with what? Along with which program? Along with what is the content which this ad is being attached to? That is the medium for advertising always. It is never the physical or the virtual kind of stuff medium. So I think Surf Excel, I said this only because of Surf Excel. This Dirt is Good was a concept that actually came in a strange way from India, from another campaign that we'd done, which the world borrowed and turned into Dirt is Good. Surf Excel had all this stuff and then became some campaigns we did, Dirt is Good. And when I was sitting in a global Surf Excel meeting in London, the planner out there said, what was the origin of Dirt is Good? So I told him the origin of Dirt is Good, and he said, again, they were so filled with purpose. They said, imagine how much children can learn if they were to engage with dirt. How much of things about wildlife, nature, they can learn if they engage with dirt. I said, no, it won't work. India is a dirty country. Others will have a problem when kids kind of engage with dirt. You can't do that kind of philosophizing here. We tell people to sanitize themselves, tell people to wash their hands. I'm doing Lifebuoy. I tell them to wash your hands if you want to fall in. You can't do those kinds of things just because it's a noble thought to engage with nature. You can engage with nature in Sweden. I mean, it's beautiful to engage with nature and kind of learn a lot of things. I can't do it on Chowpatty Beach. It's impossible. You get disease. So, then he said, so what do you want to do with it? I said, I need to kind of make the mother forget the dirt and make her watch something that she forgets her bigger enemy. He said, what do you mean? I said, let's just do something and I'll tell you what we can do. So I was sitting in the room. I remember still till today how that happened. It was around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the night. I was sitting in my room. And I had this image of these two kids and a scene from Sadma. Because I had seen, very strangely, I had seen a rerun of Sadma again. And I was watching it on television. And some garbage ads were coming in that circle, which had nothing to do with the film, ever. So I was like, what is this beautiful film? What are these guys kind of polluting this film? I was angry with that. That's why Sadma remained in my head, because I was angry with the medium. So I suddenly remembered I see two kids in this film, and I see one kid consoling the other kid, like Kamal Hassan was consoling Sridevi by doing this this kind of what do you call this? With like a monkey he was doing. I said, I need this car. And I've got that image in my head. I don't know what to do. So I was really hitting myself and I was saying, what do I do? Need a clock. And the worldwide, they were kind of frustrated. The client was frustrated with a major global account. And Lo was supposed to kind of be under tremendous pressure with deviation. So I was thinking, I was sitting at night and I got the imagery right. I still don't know exactly what the script is. Arun walks into my room. I still remember it today. I said, Arun, this is the idea that I have. This must be done to brother-sister kind of a thing out there. And somehow the brother is consoling something, sister has gotten hurt or something, and the brother is playing with dirt and consoling the sister. I think every mother will be kind of really, when you see your son being a damn good brother to your sister, the mother will forgive dirt, not when the son has learned mathematics. You will much better. That's what you kind of do. That's what you find out. Arun told me the most beautiful insight. He said, so again, why should she fall? When children, this is the most beautiful thing when you have people discussing. When a child gets hurt, if you rub her hand, the child will cry more. If the child hits the table, you hit the table and you whack the table as if it's another person, the child will start laughing because the table is getting punished. I said, damn, good, I got that, fabulous. So, okay, come on, bash the button. Okay, if the kid falls, let's bash the button. And that's what happened. Just a conversation between just two people kind of jamming. I remember 8 o'clock, 7:30 I was there, 8 o'clock got the ad. The client, Gopal, was in Olive, it's at a restaurant. He has taken his whole South Asian, Asian team for dinner at one place. We barged into dinner, stopped drinking guys, Gopal come here, everything else. At 8:30 I told him the ad. At 9 o'clock he said, okay, we told the producer this is what we're shooting tomorrow, in the next week. This is how the ad happened on Surf Excel. And the whole business was like a global thread. This particular ad actually stopped the flow and told the whole world that it's not nobility. It's about just a very clever way of actually telling people to do the same thing, but not draw their attention to that stuff. And I also said one thing to the client, which I remember till today. I said, see, if you're a damn good product, and this, the brief at that point of time was, Surf Excel removes 13 out of 16 stains. I always ask people, which 13, which are the 16, why are they not 20, and which of the 13 removes? So he told me, haldi, blood, ink, this thing, red ink, blue ink. I said, well, there are 2 inks, so that's a different color, it removes that. I said, don't lie that. Tell me which are the exact. So my great difficulty, they told me 13. I said, why? Because Ariel removes only 11 out of 13, so we have to say 13 out of 16. So probably fantastic. I said, he's saying you're a damn good washing powder, right? Why do you want to say these numbers? I said, so how do you say damn good washing powder in the language of advertising? Except say, significantly, statistically we're better. So it's a very simple way to say it. If you're damn good now, you'll celebrate your enemy. If you're damn secure and you're very sure of yourself, you'll celebrate your enemy. You watch, Sachin Tendulkar will not criticize Brian Lara. He will say great things about Brian Lara. Only some guy who's never played cricket will start finding faults in Lara's technique because he's got nothing else to try to do. So I said, if you're damn confident, celebrate your enemy. Dirt is the biggest enemy for washing powder. Celebrate dirt. Let Surf Excel celebrate dirt. People don't understand why a washing powder is damn confident that it can celebrate dirt. Brands are like people. They talk, you have to talk like people. Like they are children. All of us are children. We look at a brand like a person. Do I like you? Don't I like you? I like this look about you. I don't like this look about you. This is how we talk to ourselves. Brands are not cold, clinical things out there. So I just feel that even an idea, when Vodafone was doing wonderful work, they did the dog stuff. I mean, we used to have a very healthy competition between Loho and if Ugaluri did something. I don't think we were bad competitors because we used to call each other up and actually celebrate each other's work. But in the rivalry, it was a very healthy rivalry in the sense that they did something, we have to do something better. But if we do something not better, it has to come from somewhere that they never thought of. So it was as simple as that. It was actually against Vodafone, what do we do? So we said, if you have a branding idea, you better have a damn good idea for your brand. So this was done at the time before 3G even happened, before you could have video on your phone, before you could have anything on your phone, the basic 2G kind of a phone. It was at that point in time it was launched. And this truly happened actually. Again, it was just a bunch of people in the room saying what are the big ideas an idea can have. Big ideas. Like not saying my network is good, not Vodafone saying my network is good, I'm not interested in network. I want people to remember idea. Forget the network, forget everything, just idea. Let people know idea is a big idea. So that's what happened. If people have everybody had a number and not a name, everybody is known by their number, not their name, there will be no caste problems in this country. Nobody knows who belongs to what caste. Well, that's a great idea. So we got ideas like, why do we need so many schools? One good school gets service 1 million people. We had education as idea, we had this idea, we had voting as idea, we had population control idea. Films have stolen our ideas actually, we said two people can understand very well if they exchange their phones for one day. Husband and wife can really understand each other. If the husband knew what goes on in the wife's life and the wife knew what goes on in the husband's life, I mean, provided they're both not cheating on each other, then of course it's a beautiful kind of thing to kind of exchange and see, I go through so much stuff, you go through so much stuff, and they turn it into a film. I only hope while I'm saying this, I please request the Ad Club to find a way to copyright advertising, because a lot of people flick advertising ideas into feature films, into series and everything else, and we don't have a copyright as far as advertising is concerned. We only sue other agencies, we don't sue content. An idea I was actually stolen for a feature film and we couldn't do anything about it. So that's one request for the Ad Club.
Balki, movies was not a subject that I was coming to, but since you mentioned this, you watch Malayalam movies?
I watch only Malayalam films.
And so there was a similar thing where Lijo's movie called the Mammootty movie, which is actually, he in fact credits the spot. It's the green
light. I met Lijo just last week, actually, so you said me about it. Lijo used to do advertisements before, so yeah, but he acknowledged the fact that it was inspired by that green guy. The film was very different. It was just an inspiration from an idea that he had. I mean, I wouldn't have found out if he hadn't said that.
Yeah, actually, if you remember, that creative team, one was a Tamilian, the other was someone from Allahabad. Both didn't know what each other was saying. Chokka and Kashyap didn't know what each other was saying, and they created this spot. Right, let's quickly move on to the next couple of slides, please.
No, on the thought of Malayalam films, I really wanted to talk to the Ad Club on one something. I was talking to Raj and everybody yesterday, and Pratap and I were also discussing it. I think today, I think Kerala, and especially where you're all from, here, Cochin, wherever, you're the most privileged place. I think sometimes as a profession, we also don't understand what a strong place you are in as a creative community. As a community of communicators, storytellers of this thing. I don't think anybody is better placed in this country today than the people in Kerala. Because, my request is, do not, first, you're not regional. You're in a bit of Tamil Nadu, not a very bit of Tamil Nadu. A lot of it is kind of actually sterile. There is not much to learn from the rest of the country. There's a huge amount to kind of aspire to within the creative fraternity that you're already in. So, I think you can do something really revolutionary which the rest of the country can't do, and actually transport a few things from here, because advertising needs richness of this nature. Like, it's benefiting the feature film industry. Today, the Malayalam film industry is actually the only thing that's actually keeping the Indian film industry alive as a creative industry. It is only the Malayalam film industry, actually. The kind of content, the kind of movies that are being seen, that are being shown, that are being experimented with, kind of progressive is not even a word in Malayalam. You guys do it so easily. We would call it progressive and all the stuff there. This is not even a word, it's casual for you people. And the way you do it so effortlessly. So I just saw that, what is that thing for microscope in my mind? I mean, what a thought to say the best detective is actually a nosy housewife. Every housewife wants to know what's happening in the next house. There can be no better detectives than that stuff, than that one. And to do a film like that, this requires insanity. What kind of cinema that you guys are doing? And why are we searching for advertising examples anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country? You don't need to. And I really believe in this, the audacity of the region, you know, from the culture where you people are coming from. So distinctive, so bold, and so fearless. And you have a sense of humor which is unmatched. You don't even take yourself seriously. And I look at some of the actors out there. I mean, right after a lot of push, Fahad is finally thinking that he's a star. You know, but otherwise, like, you know, you do it casually, effortlessly. All these people are just doing it. For years they've been doing it. The kind of writers. I was speaking to Lijo the other day. He said, you guys are writing like Pratap is writing his poetry every day, boat poetry. They're writing boat scripts every day. Of jails, I mean, jail boat scripts. So you're living in that. I really envy you people for actually having an advertising industry. I'm glad you're beginning the Ad Club here. This Ad Club can become actually the most creative, powering, or the most lateral thinking Ad Club that can be in the country. Please, my request is do not follow the Ad Clubs in the country. They are they're a waste of time. They're defunct. They are chasing bookish, theoretical rubbish. I mean, you guys come from the left field. You guys are there, it's in your DNA. Use that to great advantage. You have that, and this is the opportunity when the advertising industry across the country and the world is struggling to spring a surprise or two from here. Do not think of it as a small regional place. This is actually the great powers of India.
So, a limited question, Balki, whether it's Bollywood or Mollywood, there seems to be a...
There is no Bollywood.
There seems to be a gap between the creativity you see in movies and advertising. Is there a gap? How do you see it?
I think there is. See, there is a big gap. Advertising used to lead the way. In a lot of ways, advertising used to lead the way. And I'll tell you why that happens. See, advertising leads the way only if advertising, the ad leads the way. And the ad, I don't mean a television spot or a digital spot or whatever. See, when a CEO, imagine we are all human beings. We are sitting in a party which has got nothing to do with advertising. Okay, a guy who makes, let's say, biscuits. Okay, is talking to. He has a group of friends in his house. Let's say Sunil from Lamps and India. He was the CEO of it. Imagine he was at that point of time. Imagine he called a few friends over. Okay, what did he talk about? He can't talk about biscuits, right? They're not interested in glucose biscuits or Mari biscuits or something. They'll be either talking about some whiskey, they'll be talking about something, they'll be talking about some travel, they'll be talking about some land, something. But he spends 12 hours a day making biscuits, which he can't talk about to anybody. Most businesses are like that. You may have a plant that makes the best underwear in the world. How will you talk of underwear in a bunch of you? Can't. But ads give you a thing of conversation. Sunil would have parties where people were only discussing his ads. Oh yeah, it's good, what fun, yeah, that was such great fun. Because ads are like cinema, we can tend to talk about it. We can sit and talk for 1 hour over Irata or Avesham. You can do all those things in 1 hour. But you can't talk of a product, you can't talk of those kind of things, unless it's a damn an app or something like that which you talk about, you look how this kind of thing. Only these kind of digital products you can talk about for some time. You can't talk about TV, life boy. Imagine a product marketing manager's life. He can't even go home and discuss his job of, I've been thinking of these molecules on Surf Excel. Who the hell cares? His son will not bother, his daughter will not bother. What is his purpose? He's not a star, he's not a marketing, he's not a Sadhguru, he's not a fashion icon, nothing. He's a damn good marketing person. But if they say, listen, watch this ad which you gave. Look at the talkability that there is. I think sometimes advertising, the face of your profession is advertising. Sometimes you need that, an interesting card to make your profession very talkable. And that's how advertising grows. That's how advertising really will, get back in. It's not about disappearance of that medium on the speaker. You always need something you did for it to be talked about vis-a-vis your business. Then you will have see advertising working.
हमारा कल नया है आज, हमारा आज नए भारत की, बुलंद भारत की नई तस्वीर, बुलंद तस्वीर, हमारा बजाज, हमारा बजाज, हमारा बजाज।
बात
लाइन मारेगा,
इम्प्रेस हो जाएगी।
कल कॉफी, परसों डिनर,
फिर प्रपोजल, शादी, बच्चे।
उसे कुछ करने के लिए मेहनत करेगा, रोज रात घर लेट आएगा,
फिर लड़ाई, डिवोर्स,
एंड में इधर ही बैठ खा।
नया टाइम पास और कुछ क्यों करे।
लाइफ में आगे बढ़ना है यार।
टाइम पास और कुछ क्यों करे।
There must be something very complex that you're looking at. He'll come in with his sword of simplicity and just slash it all to million pieces and make us all look like fools. So on Time Pass, there was this meeting going on. There's a big strategy team. There's a big presentation to Britannia the next day. Nothing has been cracked. So Balki comes, opens the door. What are you all doing? So we said, Balki, strategy for Time Pass. We're thinking it's an impulse category. So we're thinking the idea should be about spontaneity. Someone said something else. He said nothing. Time Pass is basically meant for useless people. Just do some useless advertising. That is what this is.
Actually, one of the first ads that I shot, there is no money, so that was the reason only people in the agency were to shoot. There's no money, so I had to shot this ad. We went to shoot 3-4 ads, we ended up shooting 20. So basically, I always have a problem of winning. We always celebrate winners, and what happens? Only one person knows. How do the remaining 1.39 billion, 3.999 billion feel when there's one winner? We're all actually the biggest consumer insight is more 99.99 people are losers, only 0.001%. So you do a loser commercial, most people like it. Do a winner commercial, nobody like. Winner is good to talk about. Winner you can't beat. There is only one person has the luck to be. It's got nothing to do with their ability. It's got nothing to do with anything else. We're all gifted people. Luck somebody had, we became winner. No problem. No issues. I don't believe in this whole thing of win, you're the best and only celebrate the winner, forget all. But sometimes, not sometimes, always celebrate people who've done nothing. They're people, enough for celebration. Nothing, no other reason. So that was one of those things. Again, it was no nobility from my, it's not a core philosophical belief that I want to change the world. It's just different from being called a winner. That's all. Sometimes good things come out of wanting to be different, not actually trying to do good. You try to do good, you end up being very boring. That when you listen to people and not, just read what they kind of say on their shouting, you just see, observe, listen. You always take things that, which is never there, which is never the written word. I remember when I was struggling with Avenger, I was going on, there was a planner called Saji, Saji. So he was there, he was the planner, he was supposed to give me a brief on Avenger, and he was saying all kinds of things to me. And I was, dismissing him, saying, what are you talking rubbish? Normal, like all creative people discuss all planners, dismiss all planners dismiss all creative people. It's a healthy relationship in the agency. So he was like almost thinking of this brief, and he was doing on the corridor. I was just going to the loo from my room. He was doing this, something like this. He was doing like this. What's wrong with you? He said, I'm just thinking of it. He was doing this. And I came back from the loo. He was still like that in the same spot. He was like this. I said, what the hell is this? I mean, somebody's to me. I said, this is the only bike, because this is like a Harley kind of a bike. It's the only bike you ride like this. Other bikes you stoop. When you ride that kind of thing. This is the bike that makes you ride that. So just that gesture that I was watching him do just made me feel like, this thing, I feel like what? I feel like a champion. It just happened because I just saw that gesture on Saji's thing. Hamara Vikat was a classic example of. It's the first actually not ad. This is actually the first thing I ever shot in my life because I had to reshoot the whole ad. The ad was completely scrapped and we had to reshoot it. We had only 3 lakhs at that point and shoot a 90 lakh ad. We had 3 lakhs left to shoot it. So we shot the 90 lakh ad in 3 lakhs.
How much was it?
The whole of the ad was done. There were DOPs from London. There were Javed Akhtar writing the lyrics. Various people composing music. Editor from London. Everybody was there. The film was crap. And I was the guy who pushed for this film. I believed in this concept and I had written this with the full, simple idea when Rajiv Bajaj did not believe in Hamara Beta. He said, no, Hamara Beta is the past, we should not do it, Balki. Oh, I said, just do this. You trust me, this will give you a new kind of thing. So I didn't know how to kind of, go and face him with a film that didn't work for me at that point in time. So I asked my producer, Manchanda, I said, Manchanda, how much profit have you made in the 90 lakhs that Bajaj gave you? He said, not profit. I've made 3 lakhs loss. On this one, that much you guys are these directors that you have recommended to me have spent. I said, okay, my fault. I said, okay, can you put 3 lakhs of your money in this film? He said, 3 lakhs. I said, and I asked him, how much of your money can you put? Because he was doing a lot of business with Linda. So I'm sure they didn't make it up with some other film in the world. I mean, it always happens like that. He said, no, but I can put in only 3 lakhs. So what can you do with 3 lakhs? You want to re-edit the film? I said, no, I want to reshoot the film. So we had 3 lakhs, we went to Ramoji Rao studio in Hyderabad, created the whole of India in the Ramoji Rao studio and shot it in 3 days and did music with Jukku, all this overnight. We had 5 days or 6 days to finish something that taken 2 months. So I'll never forget this film because it taught me to really pull in favors when you need them. Really pull in favors.
I think that shot, that biker bowing to the idol, was that part of the script?
Yeah. Every shot was part of the script. Every particular thing was scripted. There are situations that you had to do for everything was scripted.
Right, let's just play the next one, please.
It might not be the right time. I might not be the right one. But there's something about us I want to say. 'Cause there's something between us anyway.
On the day this was going on air, so with some trepidation, Arun went to Balki's room to show it, and he played it, and Balki said, play it one more time. So it was played one more time. Then he said, who the fuck has approved this? Call that guy right now. So Arun calls the client, and his name is Ronnie. Arun says, Ronnie, Balki wants to talk to you. And Balki tells Ronnie, it takes balls to approve something like this. Congratulations, you are a rare commodity. So since I started with that picture of Balki's, I thought I should end with this. Balki, your movies, the work that we've seen and your movies, there's always there's something there's something very audacious about it. There's an idea in there in your movies. if you look at Pa, or if you look at Chini Cow, where a 64-year-old in a relationship with a 24-year-old, or if you look at Kumar, if you look at Kiyanka, where its the whole subject is that of a house husband. I mean, it's all ahead of its time. It also appears as though you're trying to, you're looking at visual medium as a platform to send out a bigger message or something of that sort. Can you just tell us what your thinking is when it comes to these movies and this work that you've seen?
I just wish I was born in Manila with my movies. But I just feel that, when you try and do something, I'm not trying to kind of break, I'm not trying to kind of do some arbit or out of the world stuff. I'm trying to just break whatever there is and try and kind of approach it more interestingly. But the film industry works a little differently from the advertising industry. At least the mass Hindi film industry works differently. The economics are very different. So therefore, I think the kind of lateralness that there can be has not even been explored one bit on cinema that one can actually in the Hindi film industry. I just feel, there will be it's a little bit of luck. You just need one kind of a thing works somewhere which is so laterally different and kind of works. But today especially it's going to be a uphill task in an industry that's so full of cliches. It has a theory after every success. After million flops, it has no theory, but it has a theory after every success. It remains a theory till the theory flops again. And it's becoming rarer and rarer, those biggies, the big ones that are coming. That's why you find Hindi cinema not being so interesting today. So it's a sad time to be in cinema, actually, in Hindi cinema especially. It's fantastic to do in Malayalam cinema. Yes, it's a matter, it's a small little phase. I think it'll pass, something else will happen, something will happen. I'm not saying people come back to theatre, but at least the film will kind of, at least what you're kind of doing will have a difference. That's going to happen soon.
Thanks for that. Trivandrum, please put your hands together for Balki. Thank you so much.
I think we can give 5 minutes for a Q&A session.
Just out of curiosity, I want to know that those kids, are they real siblings or are they?
No, they're not.
Where do you find this?
I can't tell you their address, but I will tell you the casting person. Avinesh team must have got the. You get all suffix, right?
It was like we literally grew up with watching those ads, so so much curiosity like your team.
I also believe that when this is another great thing with agencies. This is since there are a lot of people from advertising agencies and clients here. A lot of agencies complain about clients. Okay, I always tell them, listen, it's somebody's money, very hard-earned money. They're investing in something. Advertising is a gamble. At the end of it, you have to be a gambler to be advertising. You have to be first you do your study and everything else reasonable. But at the end of it, it's a gamble. It's a magic that can work or may not work. But you have to believe in the magic for it to work. So also people remember that person is taking the bet on that magic. Now, don't tell me that he's paranoid, he doesn't let me do this, he doesn't let me do this, he dictates that. Of course he'll say a lot of things. But when you do something which is right, and you show him, and that is completely against everything that you have ever discussed, I showed the client, 3.5 hours they had fried my brains off on the mother. They didn't even notice the mother was missing from the eye. They didn't even see it. So what you see, because it's all words till it comes alive. Imagine. A lot of producers discuss scripts. Again, nahi chalega, wo nahi chalega. I mean, when they see the film, their discussion is completely different. Because you don't expect a lot of people to kind of visualize exactly what you're saying. They get it. They don't get it. Sanjeev Aga was a fantastic creative human being on idea. For 6 months he never approved the idea. I had presented the same script to him 6 times in 6 months. Every month I used to go back. He used to say, Wagi, no, please try with another idea. I don't understand. Then I came back. I said, Sanjeev, here's another idea. I told him the same script. 3rd time he almost threatened to sack me. Fourth time, I said, Sanjeev, I have a damn good idea. The same script? Yes. Fifth time, then it became like, how can a person be so shameless to come and I'm threatening him and I'm saying you're useless, you can't think of anything else, you're not creative. I said, sometimes when you know something is right, it is my job to somehow plead, beg, crawl, get insulted, but to give the client the correct thing in the world. Finally, he bought it and he celebrates it far more than I do because he said that, shit, conviction sometimes, because that's not my job. Making films is not my job. My job is selling a particular product. But you opened my eyes into actually your conviction to make sure that I saw the right thing. So I thank you. He thanks me only for being patient with him for 6 months. That's what he does. But sometimes it happens because we are in two different professions. I don't know how to run a cell phone company. He does not know how to make ads. But everybody thinks they know how to make ads, and everybody does not think they know how to run a cell phone company. That's a big difference. I think there is a give and take. Relationships have to be nurtured. Egos, this business is very different. It's a business of emotions. It's a business of a lot of personal feelings. It's a business of a lot of trust and faith. It has to be like that because you're dealing with magic.
Hi, I had a question. Basically, one of the things that stood out the most about your ads is the fact that we have people like Abhishek Bachchan on screen, but he's not there as Abhishek Bachchan. Whereas when you're looking at advertising nowadays, it centers around influence and star power and value. Yeah, it centers around stardom. So, how do you feel about influencer advertising and how important it's become to associate big personalities into advertising? Where do you stand about this?
No, I think influencer advertising in the digital age is different from the influencer advertising on video, where you're actually using celebrities to kind of endorse things. See, I don't think anything is good or bad. I have no problem with anything. But a celebrity is a blind spot today. Without an idea, you kind of do justice to the celebrity. If you don't take the celebrity higher, suppose people are singing Amir Khan, people are singing Amitabh Bachchan. If you're just looking at, okay, I got Bachchan, you think people are going to notice, yeah, they'll make 1,000 other ads. But if you don't do justice to that celebrity of whom they think highly of, in fact, the brand will suffer more. If you don't have an idea to do justice to that celebrity and take that celebrity even higher in their esteem, the ad will suffer. They have to make it noticeability. In a brand recall research, see today advertising is because for lack of any mode of testing, you're saying this recall, this affiliation towards this brand, somebody has touched my brand more number of times, nobody has bought it. My esteem is gone. In the top 10 it's being recalled for its color palette. There are advertising research models like this which are happening. Anything to kind of justify a person's success. So, in actual action, reaction, you need a damn good idea of the celebrity.
Okay, because you mentioned in the beginning about advertising is actually a nuisance between the mediums, and definitely there is a need to make it interesting when you are a nuisance so that it catches the eye. So, currently there is this thing going around about Ensure versus Disney Hotstar, where the consumers have seen advertising of a particular product pushed more than 150 times in a week, which is essentially a nuisance, or you are killing the client, or but the fact is that the client wants to be dominating IP, and that's what the whole discussion is coming up now. So, which is predominantly a digital space, From a creative perspective, how do you think, because you have 150 spots to be aired to a consumer, which you walk through big monies out there, and still not, how does a creative play in this digital chaos there?
I really think you would never have called it usually, you want to watch it. Like, I remember when the Zuzu ads were coming, we used to come some 1 billion times, but it really felt bored. About every time a Zuzu ad came, you kind of see something like everything you kind of. So there are some favorite campaigns that you want to keep watching again. If you're really spending a lot of money and you claim by nuisance and boredom you're succeeding, I always say there are some agencies that have built their reputation on the brand successes of their work. And I always ask them, when I look at their work and said, just imagine how much the brands would have worked if you didn't do that. Because with this kind of hammering of boredom, the brands have worked despite your advertising. Sometimes just by hearing, You just put a 5-second spot, and say, gadang is equal to that. That's the kind of nonsense that we talk about. Just do that. Then don't worry about it. Then say, I'm going to build it through just hammering in no thought, ever. You'll not be a liked brand, maybe remembered for want of anything else. You're not going to be liked, ever. So I just believe when you want people to like you, you need to also do some interesting, do some nice thing. Other people are not going to like you.
Any more questions?
Cool. I'll just take 2 minutes. Balki, I forgot that I had a rapid fire for you.
Oh my God.
Okay, 2 minutes. Okay. Dulquer or Fahad? Rapid fire, no.
Mammootty.
Suresh Gopi or Alu Gobi?
Alu Gobi.
Cochin or Trivandrum?
Trivandrum now.
That's it, folks. Thank you so much. Thanks, Balki.
Thank you so much, both of you.